The two big fights happening. I'll touch on one. Crawford and Spence. How did Crawford look to you, and how does that fight play out based on their most recent performances, in your opinion?
I didn't watch the fight.
You didn't watch the fight?
I didn't see it.
Oh no!
No, I didn't see the fight.
So highlights?
No.
No.
No, I did not.
He won via knockout, 6th round.
I knew
lot
that.
People said he looked a little rusty.
I knew he won by knockout, but I mean, that was expected. Yeah, it was expected.
Who do you favor? Between Spence and Crawford.
Crawford and Spence, Spence and Crawford. Spence.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Spence is a much bigger fighter on fight night. And without getting into any details beyond that, I think his style is one that will lead him to the victory.
A lot of people mention the size, that he'll just, because he's bigger and he's such a volume puncher, that he'll end up overwhelming Crawford and kind of drown him out the longer the fight goes. You as a coach, do you kind of see that as well when you analyze that fight?
If that's the way he chooses to fight him, I think that, yeah, he could do something to that effect. But he's the type of guy that uses his size and his jab very well. And he will impose his will on you for those rounds for as long as it lasts. I think he goes the distance, but I think he wins.
On the flip side of that, people have said, look, Ugas countered Spence, kind of buzzed him. If Crawford does that, we may see Spence go down because... No?
Spence ain't going down. Not happening. Not happening.
What?
No,
Why?
He's not going down.
No?
It's not happening.
If Ugas was able to buzz him, what happens if Crawford buzzes him?
Listen, he's not going down. He's a dog.
Yeah.
I was working with him way before he ever fought Sean.
Yeah.
So, I've seen him do this for quite a few years since the amateurs. He has the ability to win that fight, and just about any other guy that comes along as well. As long as he wants to do it.
Errol Spence Jr. doesn't have a fight scheduled. Terence Crawford just coming off of a devastating KO of David Avanesian. Why can't we get that fight next?
You know what? The business that needs to be worked out here is things that we won't never know about. There's things that they're going to release in the media that you'll hear, and it'll be rumors and running rampant. But what's actually holding it up, the things that are being held up, they're going to keep that to themselves and try to work it out. So we're not going to find out what that is. I don't know what that is. I know neither one of these guys is afraid of the other guy. Both of these guys consider themselves to be the best fighter, and they want to take they want the fight. But there's some things that got to be worked out that we'll never know about.
Just the shortest version I can give you. Terence was a hothead outside of the ring. So he used to get in trouble with other fighters. I mean, he would, if you bumped into Terence, you didn't say, excuse me, you were just joking around with Terence, he'd come after you. And we'd have to break Terence up from situations like that. So he spoke about being in Venezuela.
A little bit more than that, though. It wasn't just bumping, a little bit more than that.
Okay, well, whatever.
But he was a high
Whatever it was, he carries that into the ring. And a lot of times he had it outside. So we're in Venezuela. We look up in the stands, and there's a fight going on. The problem I have with it as a coach is it's an American fighting an American. And it's Terence, So we had those situations with him where we'd have to reprimand and say, hey, man, stop doing this or that. And he would come right back at you. And it was one of those times at a national tournament I had to say some things to him, not anything disrespectful, just to stop him from doing whatever he was doing. And he was ready to fight me. Of course, nothing happened at that point. Later that night, the tournament was at a college. And so walking through the dorm area, it was very dark. It wasn't lit at all. It was very dark. It was almost like an alley. And I just happened to see him. He saw me. And we came right face to face. And I'm looking at this guy with both his fists balled up like this, standing in front of me. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, you ain't going to move? And I look at him, I said, what's up? And he says to me, what's up? And then I thought to myself, I was like, nah, let this go, kid. He just let this go, And we both turned. We didn't just walk away from. We both turned and watched each other, and then we walked away. And that's why he's laughing. But for me, that showed me who he is in and out of that ring.
Kenny brought up a story about seeing Terence in an alleyway. Did you hear of that? Did you know of that?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, Terence got into it with some of the guys on the team, and
How long ago was that?
I think they were like 16 then. So that was
him as a 16-year-old?
Yeah, it was him as a 16-year-old. So 16, I think he's 16 or 17. So Terence got into it with somebody on the team, and they was trying to kick him off the team or kick him out the facility or something. Then the coach called me and said we're gonna send him home, and it was just a big misunderstanding. But Terence stood up for what he believed in.